So I admit I'm not much of a David Cronenberg fan, but I finally watched Videodrome for the first time. Okay, look, maybe I can see the appeal of Videodrome for movie audiences back in 1983. There's something about emerging technology, in this case satellite TV and the home video market, that can make for an interesting horror movie. It's because very few people understand that technology, and so it feels like anything could be associated with it. Mind control, fleshy monsters, stomach vaginas, you name it. But in the years since, once it's been dissected and becomes obsolete, it seems silly. That's what's wrong with viewing Videodrome now for the first time. It's silly. The extras on the Criterion Blu-ray mentioned that David Cronenberg was still writing the script as they were shooting, which, yep, definitely feels like that kind of movie. The only thing I can really recommend in this total package is a vintage TV talk show from 1982, where future director Mick Garris interviews David Cronenberg, John Carpenter, and John Landis. I could have watched that thing for hours, and sadly it's only 30 minutes. Anyway, if you've never seen Videodrome, it's probably going to be one you'll want to check off a list at some point, but for me, it's a pass. Now here's another late 2000s movie I'd never ever heard of with a score done by John Frizzell. I guess that'll be this year's unintentional theme. This one, however, is directed by Eric Red, who gave us 1991's Body Parts. Famke Janssen stars in 100 Feet, and we're already off to a great start just from the casting. She plays a woman starting house arrest after the murder of her abusive husband, and when she's returned to the home where the crime was committed, she's almost immediately accosted by the violent spirit of her dead spouse, amusingly played by Michael Paré, who was never actually in the film proper. Now don't worry, that's not a spoiler or anything, as she comes to this conclusion right away. She just has to spend the movie being terrified by it in various ways, and then coming up with a way to get him to leave, all while being trapped by the ankle bracelet that's keeping her inside. I'm only being brief about this one because it's a simple premise and I don't want to expose too much of it. But fuck me, the first actual jump scare of the movie is really something, and there's a bit later with a garbage disposal that's expertly done. Seek out 100 Feet, I really enjoyed it. Ashes from 2010 should be something I'd like, but a number of things add up to derail it. It's the story of a doctor working on a cure for AIDS, but when he breaks protocol while attempting to save an injured child, he essentially triggers the zombie apocalypse. Okay, so zombie apocalypse origin story. Great, that's awesome. I love origin stories. Problem is, it takes almost half the movie before you even get a whiff of that's where things are going, and even then you don't really get to the meat of it until the last couple of minutes. I'm all for establishing your characters and your universe, but this is going a bit overboard. Also, everything seems to be filmed with a handheld camera, and I hate that. Kadeem Hardison is in this, and that's a plus, but overall, bleh. Okay, look, how could I not watch this? I mean, it's called Baby Ghost, and it stars Joe Estevez from the director of Hell Comes to Frogtown, and even features a Stargrove-worthy theme song. The few remaining after-hours inhabitants of a high-rise building are being menaced by a baby ghost. The cast will debate the title for us in this scene.
And there's this thing out here.
Thing? Is it small and green?
Yeah. What the heck is it?
I don't know. It looks like a baby ghost.
What?
A baby ghost?
A baby ghost? That's impossible.
What do you think it is?
Oh no, it's coming.
Now, normally I don't watch shot-on-video stuff, but did I mention that this is called Baby Ghost? Well, shocker, this is terrible. And not in a fun way. It's long stretches of absolutely nothing. It's borderline unwatchable. And you know me, I've watched some hideous shot-on-video stuff start to finish, stuff like Vampageddon and Destined to be Ingested. Those movies had bits that made the pain tolerable. Baby Ghost has none of that. This scene sums up all you need to know about the pain that is Baby Ghost. It's the worst movie I will see this season. Easily.
Wait a minute, you! Wait a minute, what are you doing here? No, don't go! No. now. You put that down. Put those scissors down. Why, Yana? Yeah, you leave that alone now. Don't cut that, please. Don't cut that.
Oh my god, shut up.
Hey, what are you doing here?